Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to Diplomatic Enclave. I'm your host Omar Khalid. But as is the norm, we always interview the heads of different missions who are here in Pakistan, or sometimes when the case is prime ministers and ministers of other countries as well, and the heads of organizations that are here in Pakistan, and we understand the work that they are doing here and all the collaboration and the cooperation that is also happening between their country and ours. Today is no exception, and with the SCO heads of government meeting that is about to happen in a couple of days' time, we thought it better to interview those countries that are really forming the crust of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. One of those countries that I'm going to name in a short while has been also very important as far as the region is concerned and its relationship with Pakistan is concerned. Some peculiarities, let me just begin with that. The Baikonur Cosmodrome, which is the world's first and largest space launch facility. The former capital of that country means a place full of papers. The place is known as Almaty. The lake Balkhash is very peculiar because one half of the water remains saline, the other half remains fresh. The center of Kazakhstan's culture, Turkestan, has been founded over 15 centuries ago. I just named the country, it's Kazakhstan, and we have the pleasure and the privilege to have the ambassador extraordinary and plenipotentiary of the Republic of Kazakhstan to Pakistan, Excellency Yerzhan Kistafin, with us. Thank you very much, Excellency, to have joined us.
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you so much for coming.
Sir, first of all, you're here since a couple of months now. What has your impression of Pakistan been so far?
In fact, I arrived in the middle of June 2021.
Yes.
So this is my 4th year in your beautiful country. You know, since then I feel like I'm at home. It's a beautiful country, hospitable people, and tremendous potential. And in fact, when it comes to cooperation between our countries, we have to do so many things.
You know, when you look at Kazakhstan, it being a transcontinental country and the largest one that is located in Asia, the most western parts, of course, also are located in Europe. So that makes it a very peculiar country as far as the region is concerned. How does this location geographically add to the importance of your country?
You know, for centuries, our land served as a golden bridge connecting East and West. And today, Kazakhstan is the largest landlocked country in the world. Our president stressed several times that we need to unlock our transit potential. And nowadays, for example, Kazakhstan serves as a very important part of One Belt, One Road initiative by the Chinese. And our president tasked the government to develop 2 main international transport corridors. The first one is Trans-Caspian International Corridor. The second one, so-called North-South International Transport Corridor. So what we're trying to do, we're trying to transform Kazakhstan from a landlocked country into a land-linked country. And we are doing in this term, so far so good. And I think that we successfully developed a number of projects. For example, today 70% of trade done between China and the European Union is done through this route, which goes through Kazakhstan. So Kazakhstan, as many years back or centuries back, still serving as a bridge connecting different regions and continents.
All right, Excellency. On the 25th of October in 1990, Kazakhstan declared its sovereignty on its territory as a republic within the Soviet Union and then declared independence on the 16th of December 1991, thus becoming the last Soviet republic to declare independence. How has your journey been since?
You know, within these 3 decades, we tried to develop our country as a peaceful country. From the very beginning, we declared that we will be developing so-called multilateral foreign policy. We are trying to develop a good neighborhood around the country. And we are developing our relations not only with our immediate neighbors or with the countries in the region, but we are also, I would say, developing very dynamic relations with major players, with the United States, with the European Union, and with many other countries and the regions. I'll give you just 2 facts. Kazakhstan today represents half of the Central Asian economy. Within these 3 decades, we have attracted more than 400 billion US dollars as foreign direct investments, which is 70% of all FDIs attracted by the Central Asian region. Of course, we have some, issues just like any country in the world. We have some challenges, but we are trying to develop a policy which would address these challenges in a proper manner. But in general, I must say that Kazakhstan is doing quite well.
Now that you talk about Kazakhstan doing so well, I mean, the first question that comes to my mind is your country's economy. I'd like to understand what the Nulli-Jol policy is all about, and what are the other elements that drive your economy in the direction that it is going?
Nulli-Jol, again, this program is dedicated to untapping our transit potential. According to this program, our government is developing different land routes, railroads. We are also developing Kazakhstan as a regional air hub. And this is what we do in terms of connectivity. Apart from that, we are also focused on many other sectors, such as, for example, our president said that we have to develop agriculture in Kazakhstan. Kazakhstan is the 9th largest country in the world. We are 2.7 million square kilometers. And our president said that, having such a mass lands, we should definitely develop our agriculture, which can serve as another driver for our economic development. We have very well developed oil and gas sectors. We are also investing into developing different industries, machinery, pharmaceutical industry, textile industry. The reason why I'm mentioning these sectors is that, in fact, we can learn a lot from your experience from Pakistan. It is well known that your textile industries is one of the leading in the region, if not in the world. Same, with the pharmaceutical industry, with agriculture. So what I'm saying is that when it comes to developing, untapping our own internal potential, we can develop through this kind of cooperation, we can develop interaction with Pakistan.
When you talk of interaction with Pakistan, we'll come to it also during the course of the show, but one of the aspects that Kazakhstan gives a lot of importance to is education within your country. And that we've seen through when you research your country as well. And you've also talked a lot about education and the sphere on how we can collaborate between our two countries in the form of education. You've talked about establishing direct communication between the Quaid-e-Azam University as well as the Kazakh British Technical University with a student exchange as well. You've indicated that Kazakhstan and Pakistan are enhancing cooperation in the science and technology sector as well, which is of course linked to the education sector. And also the Pakistan National University of Modern Languages, NAML, and Kazakh National University are also working together on different projects as far as exchange of students is concerned and also learning each other's languages. When it comes to education, A, how important is it to your country? B, how do you see the collaboration between Pakistan and Kazakhstan, not only in the realm of education, but also scientific and technological training and education?
Education plays a very important role, and our government attaches I would say, great importance to this very important field. And it was announced that we will be establishing 33 joint projects in collaboration with, campuses, in collaboration with the leading universities of the world. We have invited universities from the United Kingdom, United States, South Korea, Germany, France, Singapore. So in collaboration with the universities of these countries, we will be establishing our campuses. And the thing is that whenever we develop our potential, we also keep in mind that we should develop a regional approach. We should elaborate a regional approach. Why? Because Kazakhstan can serve as a regional educational hub. As you know, nowadays, something like about 2,000 students from Pakistan studying at our universities. Most of them, they are studying at our medical universities. But apart from medical universities, we have very good technical universities, law universities, so on and so forth.
And the medium of education is English in those?
Yeah. Medium, some of them. They still have Kazakh and Russian.
All right.
But many universities, they are shifting to English programs.
All right.
So what we're trying to do, we're trying to develop our regional potential. And this is the reason why we decided to establish a joint working group on education and youth affairs. This year we held online talks between the HEC chairman, Dr. Mukhtar Ahmed, and the Minister of Higher Education and Science of Kazakhstan, Mr. Saysat Nurbek. They discussed a broad range of issues in terms of developing cooperation between our countries in education. And it was agreed that we need to develop a systematic approach. Right now, for example, there are 3 professors from Pakistan in Kazakhstan giving lectures at the leading universities of our countries. And just a couple of weeks back, we had 2 professors from Kazakh National University visiting Islamabad upon the invitation of the Kamsats University.
All right.
So what I'm saying is that education could be a part of our people-to-people ties, as well as education can contribute greatly in terms of exchange of students, faculty members, and of course joint scientific research. So it's such a great area for developing cooperation. For example, 3 years back, we established for the first time an association of alumni association of Kazakh universities, and on regular basis we are holding sessions with our alumni. And it was agreed that, for example, this year we will organize another session in Lahore. So we are engaging different, sectors of this big educational field, I would say. And the main goal is to activate and engage as many universities, as many organizations as we can. Because in fact, it can create a solid foundation for further developing cooperation between our countries in different areas.
When you talk of solid foundation, the culture of any country also forms a very solid foundation for the society, for the nation, and also boosts on the soft image of that country. How much importance does your country gives to its rich and diverse culture? Secondly, do you feel that cultural cooperation between countries such as Pakistan and Kazakhstan could further boost the ties that exist between the 2 nations?
Today our population of Kazakhstan is 20 million people. But even despite this fact, in our country there are 124 ethnic groups representing 18 faith communities living in peace and harmony. So today Kazakhstan is one of the most diverse societies in the world. So we do believe that this is a great asset for us. And when it comes to our cultural aspect, we should say that we are trying to respect and preserve culture, traditions, religions of each and every ethnic or faith communities living in Kazakhstan. Now, when it comes to cooperation with Pakistan, I must say that in December in Astana, we held the 12th session of our Joint Intergovernmental Commission. And during this session, we signed MOU on developing our cooperation in culture. So it was agreed that we will be exploring different areas for interaction in this field. And we are planning to develop, for example, to establish partnership between our leading museums, between our cultural organizations. We are, working very closely with National Council of Arts of Pakistan. And on regular basis, we're organizing different cultural events. For example, 2 years back, we invited musicians from Kazakhstan, and we held the joint performance of musicians of Kazakhstan and Pakistan. So, in fact, again, when it comes to our cultural cooperation, I must say that there is a kind of mutual influence, which comes from, from long ago, I would say. As I said, our regions, in fact, cooperated, interacted for centuries. And we see influence of Central Asia here in Pakistan. And we some influence of your region in our, in our countries as well. So this is another area for exploring our common historical heritage, our common historical background. And this or next year probably we will be organizing official talks at the level of our ministries of culture to identify areas of for further cooperation between our relevant organizations.
You talk of heritage, you talk of culture. When we talk of heritage, you've got 3 cultural and national heritages on the UNESCO World Heritage List that includes the mausoleum of Hoja Ahmad Yasovi as well as others. I understand that whenever one wants to go to Kazakhstan, these are the places that one needs to see. What are the other places that could be of interest to any international tourist, including Pakistani tourists?
I would definitely recommend to visit the youngest capital in the world, Astana.
Okay.
Astana is a beautiful city. It's a modern city. And I always say that when you want to visit an ancient Central Asia, you have to visit Turkestan. When you want to visit the modern country, modern Kazakhstan, you have to visit Astana. Apart from Astana...
Look at the difference between Turkestan and Astana.
Yeah.
Centuries old
Exactly.
difference, but still contained within one single country.
Yes, right. You're absolutely right. Then, of course, Almaty. Almaty is another beautiful city. It's a hilly area. To some extent, it reminds me Islamabad. In Almaty, we have one of the best ski resort, skating ring, and many other things. And of course, you know, our eastern part, our western part. The thing is that we have such a big country, and we have different landscapes, you know, beautiful nature. So this is another very important part of our cooperation, in fact. Again, in December, in this session in Astana, which I mentioned, we signed an MOU on developing cooperation in tourism.
Oh.
So this is another area that we will be discussing with our friends in Pakistan.
Have you visited some touristic places in Pakistan?
Oh, I visited all the areas. I visited all provinces, including your northern area. It's beautiful, stunning nature.
Okay, wonderful. Excellency, on the 8th of March 2020, the concept of the foreign policy of Kazakhstan for 2020-2030 was announced. You're members, your country is member of so many important organizations, whether it be the Commonwealth, whether it be the ECO, whether it be the SCO, and whether it be the Eurasian Economic Community, of which you are a member since 2000, the United Nations Organization for Security and Cooperation in Europe, the Euro-Atlantic Partnership Council, the Turkic Council, and the organization of the OIC as well. Also an active participant in the North Atlantic Treaty Organization Partnership for Peace program. These are a lot of important organizations. What are the pillars of your foreign policy on which you base your relationship with other countries within the ambits of these organizations? You
know, as I said, Kazakhstan being a golden bridge connecting different parts of our region, connecting different continents of the world, we see our mission as a country which could contribute into, stabilizing situation in the region. And I can mention two main international initiatives by our country. Back in 1992, our first president, His Excellency Nursultan Nazarbayev, he announced that we will be establishing a conference on interaction and confidence building measures in Asia. And today, this SICA forum has been transformed into a full-fledged international regional organization. And recently, Secretary General of SICA, His Excellency Mr. Kairat Sarabay, visited Islamabad. He had talks with Prime Minister, with Minister of Foreign Affairs. Another initiative dedicated to religious dialogue. We established in 2003, we established a Congress of the leaders of world and traditional religions. So what we're trying to do, we're trying to contribute into developing a dialogue between different ethnic, regional, religious communities between different countries. And last July, in Astana, we held the SCO summit. We held the summit of the Organization of Turkic States. So, we believe that this multi-vectoral foreign policy that we are implementing so far is very beneficial, not only for Kazakhstan, but for other actors at our international arena. For example, Armenia and Azerbaijan, that they had very, I would say, very tough relations. And the first talks between Azerbaijan and Armenia after, this Karabakh war took place in Almaty recently. Then Astana and Almaty serve as a platform for the international diplomacy. For example, we held a number of talks on the Syrian conflict. We held talks on the Iranian nuclear program. So, you know, this is what we believe is our mission is. We want to facilitate a dialogue, and we want to help other, you know, countries, regions, organizations to, you know, to find a common background. And Kazakhstan is ready to do utmost to find a peaceful solution, because from the very beginning we were very clear that we do not believe in conflicts. We believe in a peaceful diplomatic solution. We should sit, we should discuss, you know, as you know, civilized countries, and we should find a compromise. It is doable. We believe that it is absolutely doable. The thing is that it is about the willingness of sides. From our, you know, from our side, from our perspectives, we believe that such platform as, for example, SICA, Conference on Interaction and Confidence Building Measures, can help in this term.
All right. Let's hope that organizations such as SICA, you know, board for the lasting peace in the region and beyond as well. I think this is what the goal of organizations such as SICA is, and of course also the policy of 2020 to 2030. Now, you are here in Pakistan, you are here since 2021. You know how Pakistan treats its brethren, how it treats its brethren in the Central Asian countries, whether it be Kazakhstan or others. Pakistan was one of the first countries that recognized Kazakhstan when it became independent in 1991. We established diplomatic relations in 1992. How has the journey been since then? We are now in 2024, in fact, the end of 2024. What would you say are the hallmarks of the relationship, the collaboration, the cooperation, the friendship, the brotherhood between our two countries?
You know, within these almost 32 years, we have developed an excellent dialogue at the level of our leadership. Our presidents, our prime ministers, they meet on regular basis. As I said, in July we held the SCO summit, and Prime Minister His Excellency Shehbaz Sharif visited Astana. 2 years back we held the SICA summit, and again His Excellency Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif visited our capital. And at the sidelines of these events, he held talks with our president. It was confirmed from both sides that both sides are interested in deepening ties between our countries, and with the main focus on our economic agenda. But again, frankly speaking, when it comes to our, for example, bilateral trade, when it comes to our economic cooperation, you know, we still have a lot of things to do, and we are far below from the real potential that we have.
But why is that? I mean, you're mentioning trade. What are the reasons behind the lack of potential avenues to enhance trade?
Two main challenges: lack of information and lack of connectivity.
All right.
With regard to the lack of information, I must say that still our nations, our business communities know little about the opportunities that we have for developing cooperation.
All right.
Whenever I invite business community, my friends from the business community of Pakistan to visit Kazakhstan, when they visit Kazakhstan, they understand finally what I'm talking about.
I understand.
And then whenever I invite my friends from Kazakhstan to visit Pakistan, they always ask, is it safe? Is it okay?
Yes.
I always reply, guys, you just have to come and you will see yourself. Seeing is believing after all. And they come to Pakistan, and they understand that Pakistan is a completely different country
From what the people expect of it.
Exactly, exactly. So this is what we need to do. Another very important part of this cooperation, we need to fill the gap. So what I'm saying is that we have to develop cooperation at the level of our media communities, our TV channels, friends like your good self, visiting Kazakhstan, inviting media community, TV channels, newspapers, you know, radio from Kazakhstan to visit Pakistan.
I think that would be wonderful, because media is the perfect tool to make people of a certain country understand what it's all about.
And to reach millions of
exactly.
people. This is the best tool. This is the best tool. So this is what we do, and I hope that you know, during upcoming session of our Joint Intergovernmental Commission, we will sign an MOU on developing cooperation in information.
Oh, that would be wonderful.
Yeah,
I think information is the basic, you know, is the basis on which all the other elements stand as well.
Yes, exactly, exactly.
All right. In June of last year, your country and Pakistan agreed to further expand bilateral cooperation in energy and agriculture, information technology, textiles, and during a telephonic conversation between our Prime Minister and your President, Kasim-Jomart Tokayev. Now, this year you've emphasized developing a real road and rail connectivity with regional approach to enhance cooperation between Pakistan and Kazakhstan in diverse fields, including trade and energy sectors. Now, trade and energy are two factors that were prominent in 2023 and also in 2024. What has the progress been so far?
A couple of days back, we had a group of business people from Kazakhstan who are interested in exploring investment opportunities in your energy sector. They have great experience in renewable energy, solar and wind. And they held meetings with SIFC and with other relevant bodies. They visited Karachi.
All right.
And it seems to me that there is a very promising future for developing cooperation in energy. In fact, back in 2020, we established 3 joint working groups dedicated to trade, transport, and energy. We are planning to add 3 more joint working groups.
All right.
On education, youth affairs, on IT and telecommunications, and on agriculture. We will be developing a multi-dimensional approach when it comes to cooperation between our countries. And as you rightly mentioned, we have to develop, to boost our bilateral trade. We have to, first of all, develop our connectivity.
True.
And again, when it comes to connectivity, it is not our bilateral relations. It is about developing regional approach. Because if we want to, deliver goods from Pakistan to Kazakhstan, for example, we have to cross at least 2 countries in the region, be it Afghanistan, Kyrgyzstan, Uzbekistan, even China. Nowadays, I must say that Alhamdulillah, situation is more stable in the region, and we are working closely with Afghanistan, with the Taliban, and we activated these routes.
All right.
And in May this year, for the first time, we launched a pilot multimodal cargo transportation from Kazakhstan to Dubai.
All right.
Via Karachi seaport. And then from Karachi seaport, we delivered pharmaceutical goods to Baku, Azerbaijan, via Aktau seaport in Kazakhstan. So we proved that this route operational, efficient, and viable. What we need to do, we need to make this route sustainable and to make this route secure. What I'm saying is that we have to also engage into our cooperation law enforcement agencies in order to avoid interference of transnational organized crime.
I agree.
In order to avoid drug trafficking, human trafficking, illegal migration, or any other crimes. So this is the reason why I said that we need to develop a multi-dimensional approach. The first and foremost, what we need to do, we need to create a friendly environment, secure environment for credible people to develop our cooperation.
I agree to it. You talk of people, people-to-people collaboration, cooperation is also the hallmark of any relationship
It's a
between
backbone.
two countries.
It's a backbone of any cooperation.
And of course, when you talk of people, I would also like to include, these high-level visits that happen between countries. We are going to have, inshallah, your Prime Minister very soon as well, and other delegations in the future as well. How important, A, is people-to-people contact, B, high-level visits, to A, further understand better what the other country needs, wants, and how to further enhance all the lacunas that exist in the bilateral relationship between the two countries?
I must say that when it comes to cooperation between any countries, including, of course, Kazakhstan and Pakistan, there are 2 main dimensions. The first one is G2G, government to government in general. It is about interaction at the level of our officials and including, of course, our leadership. And I must say that a dialogue at the level of our leaders is extremely important because it helps to create a legal framework through through signing these different MOUs, agreements, contracts, so on and so forth. We are developing a framework for cooperation at the people-to-people level. When we invite our business communities, when we invite our universities, our tour operators, our cultural organizations, so on and so forth, to establish this interaction at our bilateral or multilateral level. So I would say that G2G and people-to-people are complementing each other and supporting each other. If we see that there is a great interest of our business community to do business, for example, in Pakistan, of course, our government will be doing its utmost to facilitate, to create, as I said, friendly, favorable conditions for boosting our B2B ties. So, it's, I would say that it's a two-way road. I'll give you another example. When we organize our sessions of the Joint Intergovernmental Commission, back-to-back, as a sideline event, we organize a business forum.
All right.
We always bring our business people, and then we have a hybrid session when officials sit together with business community. Because business people, for example, these are the people who knows the real situation on the ground. And they can share their insights, their real experience of doing business. Just yesterday, I had people from the private sector of Pakistan who are dealing with logistics. And for me, personally, as ambassador, it is extremely beneficial to have this dialogue and to receive first-hand information on what is happening in reality. And then through this dialogue, we can address the challenges that our business communities, for example, face.
All right, you've talked about trade, you've talked about law enforcement and the collaboration between the two, and I think that's very important to highlight as well. And of course, the lack of trade and how you need to, move forward as far as this is concerned. When it comes to trade, when it comes to bilateral cooperation, you've always emphasized a regional approach to all of that, and that's what I understand through you. When it comes to regional approach, how can I not talk about the Shanghai Cooperation Organization? This is the main hallmark of your country, our country, and so many other important countries like China, like Russia, like Iran, and so many others. Now, you have recently chaired the SCO and have prioritized several areas for development cooperation within the region. Do you feel that whatever has transpired in your country in the last sessions under the ambit of the SCO has concretized? Do you feel durable progress has been made? What are the points that you feel need to be highlighted in the upcoming meetings under the ambit of the SCO?
Kazakhstan being a founding member of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization has, contributed greatly into strengthening this very important, regional institution. As you mentioned, Kazakhstan recently chaired the SCO, and again, as I said, the summit took place in Astana. So our main focus was on strengthening security situation in the region. There are still a number of challenges that we need to address in a coordinated, proper manner through our joint efforts. Such challenges like terrorism, extremism, drug trafficking, security, radicalism, climate change as well, cannot be addressed alone. These challenges could be addressed only, through coordinated measures. And of course, one of the main missions of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization is to address such challenges. And in collaboration with our partners, with other member states, including Pakistan. By the way, I would like to use this opportunity to thank Pakistan for supporting our initiatives. We always feel that Pakistan is staying shoulder to shoulder, supporting our proposals, our ideas on developing our regional cooperation. So we were focused on strengthening our security in the region. As soon as our region is stable and secure, the sky is the limit. Then we can develop so many areas of interest for the entire region. Another very important dimension is economic cooperation, as you understand. And during our chairmanship, we developed a strategy for economic cooperation at the SCO space. Then another very important part was dedicated to environmental issues. I'll give you another example from experience of Kazakhstan and Pakistan. 2 years back, you suffered from one of the most devastating
2022,
floods. This year, my country suffered from floods, and it was one of the greatest challenges in our modern history within these 30 years. And it shows that no one is safe, first of all. Secondly, these kind of challenges, as I already mentioned, should be addressed in a collective manner. And of course, we should exchange expertise. We should exchange information. What is happening here in your part of the world? What is happening in Central Asia? Because we are not that far from each other. Last year, we launched direct flights from Lahore to Almaty, and the flight duration is 2 hours, 10 minutes. Almost the same like Islamabad, Karachi.
Yes.
Yeah. So it shows that even despite the fact we don't have common borders, we're still neighbors, and we're very close to each other. Another very important aspect was dedicated to developing cultural ties.
Okay.
This is extremely important, because through developing cultural cooperation, we learn more about each other. And again, when it comes to our countries, Kazakhstan and Pakistan, we learn how many things in common we have. And that, again, we are not just neighbors in the same regions, in the same region, but in fact, we are, brotherly nations that have so many common in terms of traditions, our religion, great religion, our customs, our culture, so on and so forth.
The familial system, I think the societal system is also quite similar between Kazakhstan and Pakistan.
Yeah.
And of course, there are so many other similarities that need to be highlighted. I think that is what binds countries together as well. But that also is something that binds regional organizations like the SCO together. During your stint when it was, the SCO was under your chairmanship, what were the other highlights that we would like to, tell our audience happened while you were, chairing the SCO, and what are your expectations from upcoming SCO meetings, and what do you, coming from a country that has already chaired the SCO, want to now implement something that has not already been implemented?
In fact, frankly speaking, what we see is that these key areas which I already mentioned, security, economic cooperation, culture, and of course regional connectivity. These are 4 pillars that we should be focused on. As soon as we, in the region, as soon as we join our hands, as soon as we join our, potentials, these challenges could be easily addressed, and it will be beneficial for the entire region. Our main goal is to finally make our region competitive on the international markets. And it's absolutely doable. And I do believe that with support of other member states, we will be able to develop, economic cooperation, regional connectivity, and to address security issues. And energy cooperation, by the way, is another very important area which we were focused on. So I think that continuation of this agenda that we have developed so far is extremely important. We should not develop something new all the time, from chairmanship to chairmanship. We should continue implementing different actions, measures, to address those problems, those challenges that we face in the region.
SCO Heads of Government meeting is about to happen in a couple of days' time, mid-October. And of course, there's going to be a high-level delegation from your country as well as other countries from the region that are part of the SCO. Looking at the geostrategic and geo-economic, geopolitical developments that are happening in the region and in the world, how important does the SCO become?
I believe that the SCO becomes more and more important. I'll give you another example. So in Kazakhstan, for the first time, we organized so-called the SCO Plus event meeting.
Like the BRICS Plus?
Yes. So, but we invited, for example, the UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres, UN Secretary General. Then we invited presidents of, countries in the region, for example, Turkey, Azerbaijan, so on and so forth. So it shows that the influence and importance of our organization, Shanghai Cooperation Organization, is growing. When Secretary General of the United Nations, Antonio Guterres, visited Kazakhstan, his main purpose was to participate, to attend at this event. So it shows that our organization attracts attention of the entire international community, and I do believe that in future this organization will be growing. Another evidence is that now we are 10. From this year, Belarus became the 10th member of our
Yes,
organization.
yes.
If you remember, we started from 5 countries.
True.
Now we are 10. So it means that the organization is growing.
Its power
And
is growing as well.
Exactly. And more countries are interested in joining the organization and becoming a part of the SCO, because they see that this organization is about developing. It's about development. And this organization is about bringing, our countries closer to each other.
All right. When it comes to SCO, I mean, this is a question a little bit off the track. One of the hallmarks when it comes to China is the Belt and Road Initiative, and one of the initiatives under the BRI is this China-Pakistan Economic Corridor. Would Kazakhstan want to be part of projects under the CPEC in the future or in the present? Is there any consideration in that respect?
I can tell you that Kazakhstan, being the largest landlocked country in the world, is interested in developing cooperation with Pakistan due to a number of reasons. And one of these reasons is getting access to the warm waters. Probably this route that connects Kazakhstan with Pakistan and finally with Karachi will be one of the shortest routes connecting our country, giving our country access to the warm waters. And of course, in this term, we will be more than happy to be a part of CPEC. As I said, Kazakhstan is already a part of BRI initiative.
Yes, yes.
Moreover, we have so-called QTTA, Quadrilateral Transit Trade Agreement, the Karakorum Highway. Members are Pakistan, China, Kyrgyzstan, and Kazakhstan. So as I said, we are in favor of diversification. We would love to have as many routes connecting our country with other countries in the region, including Pakistan, as we can. And through this kind of collaboration, we will be able to establish multi-dimensional infrastructure, which would be beneficial for the entire region.
Excellency, you have been here since around, let's say, 3 years now.
Fourth year.
Yeah. Yes. You have worked a lot on Pakistan-Kazakhstan collaboration. What are the areas that you feel you have maybe left on or maybe need to work a little bit more on consolidating this bilateral cooperation?
I think that we should be also focused on developing cooperation between our regional authorities.
Okay.
Due to the structure of your system, you have provinces, you have provincial authorities,
Yes.
assembly, provincial assemblies, governors, chief ministers. So I think that we have to pay attention to developing cooperation at the level of our regional authorities, which would complement the existing ties. Apart from that, I believe that we should also, strengthen, this is extremely important, we should strengthen our cooperation at the level of the media communities, which I already mentioned. Frankly speaking, when it comes to cooperation between our countries, there are so many sectors.
Yes.
So I'm afraid that even if I spend here 10 years, it will be not enough to untap.
But one step at a time.
Exactly, to unlock our potential at full. So, but still, there are a lot of things to do. And in collaboration with our friends, here in Pakistan, we will be untapping our potential for the benefit of the entire region. Because I always stress that if we connect Kazakhstan and Pakistan, if we established, a good connectivity, I mean, land routes, railroads, it will be beneficial for the entire region.
True.
Because other countries in between, they can enjoy this connectivity. So this is the way we should develop cooperation. We should develop a regional approach. We should be, if I may say so, region-minded people. So through this kind of, approach, we will bring our region finally to success.
Inshallah, inshallah. And finally, Excellency, any message that you'd like to give to Pakistan, to your Pakistani brothers, through this medium of PTV World?
Taking this opportunity, I would like to invite our dear friends, brothers, sisters from Pakistan to visit Kazakhstan. Kazakhstan is a friendly, brotherly country, and we would like to have as many Pakistani friends in Kazakhstan as we can.
Excellency Yerzhan Kistafin, thank you very much to have joined us. Thank you very much to have given an outlook not only of your country, Kazakhstan, but also of the different avenues of collaboration that have existed, will continue to exist, and the opportunity that exists for both the country to further collaborate in so many other avenues. We also look forward to your Prime Minister's arrival in Pakistan shortly, and we look forward to a great era of bilateral and regional collaboration thanks to the efforts of people like yourself. Ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the end of today's Diplomatic Enclave. We'll be back with another guest in another show. Till then, stay tuned. And this is what the whole concept of my show is, to make people understand what other countries are all about, how they are working with Pakistan, and how important is this bilateral collaboration, friendship, regional coordination and collaboration in times of distress when we see so many issues that pertain to the world. The only thing that we look forward to is collaboration, understanding, and friendship. And this is what countries like Kazakhstan offer to other countries and to Pakistan. And we look forward to more such avenues in the future as well. Excellency, thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you. All the best.